It's a pleasure and an honor to have Kai Hansen in the other.
Hello, everybody.
Kai, this is a smile that I think that everyone who has listened to Giants and Monsters has had in his face after completing the listening of the album.
Okay.
At least that's what I have, and all the editors of Rock Hard that we had a big review of that, 8 of us, we all agreed that it's one of the best Helloween albums of all time, for sure. For sure.
Great to hear. I'm very happy to hear that, actually.
Yeah. We definitely had a smile on our face, which is really great when you listen to an album and have a smile on your face.
Yeah. It goes. Yeah. It's the same with me. I'm really happy with this album. I'm just like, yeah, we did it. We made a really good album.
Yeah, that's it. And did you feel more freedom on Giants and Monsters compared to the self-titled album of 2021? Now that this lineup has proven itself. I mean, you play together, you tour together, you have your chemistry better.
Yeah, we definitely felt much more relaxed. Doing the first album, there was a lot of pressure. And I stressed myself, and especially it started with the songwriting. I had quite a few ideas and started working on songs, and then I discarded them because I thought everything is not good enough. So I ended up with only Skyfall, which I thought that was good enough.
Yeah.
This time it was much more relaxed. I think we've really grown together. We adapted to each other. We are inspired by each other. We found what Helloween is or could be now. And I think, it was not a game plan. I think from the last production, we learned quite a few things in terms of songwriting, composing, production, and so on, that we wanted to take into this production. We talked about it and said, okay, what can we do better or different? And everybody had that in mind. It was not like a real game plan to say, okay, we have to do this and this and that. But it all came together in a way that we said we developed a very strong feel, a common sense of being Helloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you wrote the song Majestic, which I think also, and many people think that it's the skyfall of the new album. I mean, it's the grand closer, the grand song of the album. Once again, did you have Gamma Ray of the same title in your mind? What did you name the song Majestic?
Well, actually, to be honest, this song was I started to compose at the time when we did the album Majestic of Gamma Ray. And it was supposed to be on the album. But during the composition progress, I got stuck. I couldn't I was not ready to finish it somehow. So I put it aside and let it rest. And this time, because in Corona times I had a lot of time, I wrote a bunch of songs and stuff. And I was thinking about, I had this song Majestic, and I think it was quite cool. Let's see if I can find the old demos. And I went through my hard drives and finally dug them out. And so that is pretty cool, actually. And I'm ready to do it. So I started working on it. And yeah, what you hear now is what came out of it.
Yeah, it turned out really majestic. Is it pure coincidence that the songs that you wrote have all 3 singers, as happened in Skyfall?
Well, I don't know. I mean, good question, actually. I think it comes natural because, when Andy writes a song, it's mainly for his voice, but then he shares the vocal with Michael. I'm not so much included in that. I might get a part here and there. When I write a song, I sing it. I sing the demos and it's my vocals. And then it's open to who sings what. So naturally, I might be more included in the songs that I write than in other songs. But still, I think we have a very, very good vocal share on this album, more than on the last album. I get my parts, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not a main singer in this band, but I get my little highlights, and I'm very happy about that. I'm glad with that. So it came naturally, and of course the producers play a role. I mean, there's songs where it's like predetermined. Say, okay, this part is definitely Michael. This part is definitely Andy. And then there's parts of songs where we say all three singers sing this part, and then afterwards we or the producers sort out who sounds best and what fits best.
Yeah. And now you found your chemistry more than in the first album because you were more experimenting. Because this with the three singers is not so easy to do it, and you all have strong personalities.
Because we have a choice, the burden is on one, and it really, as I said, it was not any stress situation or anything where we disagreed or so. It all came along very, very naturally.
If there were any kind of complaints for your previous album, they had to do with these following two facts: that you wrote only one song, and that you didn't sing so much, and that there was no ballad. So in this album, you wrote more songs, you sang more, and the band wrote the ballad. Did you listen to the fans' thoughts, or it just happened?
It just happened, basically. We had the same, like we feel the fans because we probably are connected. And of course I read comments and, take my conclusions, but I'm not working on that. So it does mean like if so many fans complain about this and this and that, they say, no, we have to change that. Because we're not working like that. We can only do what we feel like, but we have the common feel. We share the common feel of the fans. And after the production, it was, after some time, it became clear that maybe I should sing a little more on the next album. And songwriting-wise, it was just, we were lucky to have a good choice of songs. And in the end, we ended up with a kind of fair split. I have two, Mikey has two, Sasha has two, Andy has three, and Marcus has one, I think, the bonus track. So that was not like it has to be, but it turned out pretty well like this. And so here we go.
Yeah, and if
you have 2.5 songs, and Andy has 3.5.
Yeah. If I remember well, reading the German Rock Hard, I think that you have written about 20 songs for that album. Is that right?
Yeah, we had quite a few more in choice. We didn't want to put 20 songs on the album, and we didn't want to make a double album. So we choose those that we have now on the album, and the rest is just for later.
So it's how did you pick the songs? The songs that matched better, because I guess that you have material for another album to release it sooner or later. I mean, earlier than the 4-year gap that you had between the Helloween album and this one.
Yeah, no, we have more material. We could put all that material on an album. It was not about choosing the strongest songs, or I wouldn't say that those songs that we have now are stronger than the ones we still have. So we just made a choice of songs that we thought were fitting well together to complete an album. And of course, in this decision process, the band was involved, the management was involved, the record company partly was involved. The producers were involved, so it was not a hard decision, you know. In the end, the management, actually it happened like that the management made a recommendation, and we changed it a little bit maybe, but it was all making sense. So we said, okay, let's go for that.
Yeah. When you wrote Giants on the Run, did you think that this should be the opener, kind of the new Eagle Fly Free, let's say?
No, I think this song has a total different character than Eagle or so. If you would have wanted something like that as the opener, then it should have been like Savior, maybe. You know? Savior, classic Viking type speed metal song. But Giants on the Run has a lot of diversity, and it shows even another perspective of Helloween, of the nowadays modern Helloween. It's not exactly like the typical song that you might want to expect. So we all thought it's a good idea to open the album with that. But when we wrote the song, I mean, we were not like speculating on that, you know. We just wrote it.
Why so attached to Japan? You have This Is Tokyo, which continues the Live at Budokan album. So I think the Greeks and the Germans will start complaining.
Yeah. I thought so too. I mean, it's a bit programmatic. I mean, you know, we've been going to Japan such a long time, since the 80s, and it was very exotic to go there. And we've been growing up with listening to Scorpions Tokyo tapes and other stuff that were like bands that were big in Japan. And for us, going there the first time was just like, wow, amazing, you know. I mean, go so far into another world and play there. And Andy actually nailed it in the song, you know. It was maybe after so many years of Helloween, maybe it was time to write a kind of homage to that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I understand the point that other countries might say, the fans might be like, hey, what the fuck? Why the Japanese? You know, what about us? Are we cool enough? You know, no. It's definitely just more exotic in some way. You know, it's a so different culture, and we always had some really special memories about that. Mm-hmm. So that's why. It's just like, you know, the difference of going to Bali on holidays or going to Italy on holidays. You know, Bali might be more exotic, so it's more memorable maybe. And by the way, I just was in Greece for holidays.
Yeah, so
I was on Crete. Yeah, it was very nice. I love this island.
Yeah. So. Crete has a fantastic festival, Hanya Rock Festival.
I know, yeah. People talk about that.
Yeah.
So I will make a suggestion to our management and say, well, maybe there's a chance to play.
Yeah.
I would really like to do.
I'm also cooperating with the guys there. Apart from Rock Art Festival in Greece, I'm cooperating with Hanya Rock Festival. So, which song on the album surprised you most after it was finished compared to the first demo or the first idea that you had?
Good question. I mean, not really surprised me, but I was like, really, wow, what a big gain towards the demo. I mean, that was Under the Moonlight. The demo was really, honestly, it was pretty crappy. And we figure out what the hell the song is about, or what the hell is going on there. Then it was sorted out and reworked over and so on. And now it's a cool song, very much in the old Keeper 2.
Living ain't no crime. Living ain't no crime.
Yeah, exactly. More the comedic side of Helloween, and it turned out pretty cool. Yeah. Hand of God was, to me, when I heard the demo, I said, yeah, it's a cool song, but I couldn't really picture it with Helloween. I thought this is something that is maybe not so much well fitting, But the moment I played the guitars, the rhythm guitars, and then got to work on the song, it really grew on me, and now I love it. So sometimes it takes time to grow on you.
Yeah, and did the band ever throw away a song because it sounded too un-Halloweenish? And what does the term even mean nowadays? Something today, the term Halloween song.
Oh, yeah, good question. I mean, it's a song that sounds like the band Helloween. Beyond whatever stylish components are in there. I mean, we have so much diversity, and sometimes I think like, hey, come on, don't nail us onto speed power metal, because when we are just a heavy metal band, and we have a lot of facets within the music. Same with like that always went for me with Gamma Ray always was the same. I mean, it's not a power metal band. Come on. I mean, what is a power metal band anyways? You know, I asked somebody sometimes because people keep talking about like power metal, and I say, hey, yeah, define power metal. What the hell is power metal? And the guy said, speed, double bass, and high vocals. And I was like, what the fuck? Because okay, Judas Priest Exciter is power metal. Highway Star is power metal. I wouldn't agree on that.
Yeah, so it's power metal is Accept and Judas Priest played by Gamma Ray and Helloween.
Yeah, yeah. Good point. Exactly. Throw a little new wave of British heavy metal with Iron Maiden and whatever, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. With 7 strong personalities in the band, what is the biggest source of friction that actually benefits the creative process?
Oh, I mean, we don't really have any competition in the band. I mean, if so, it's just like partly trying to each member is trying to be the best he can at the time and the best for the band. Friction. I mean, sure, we have our moments of friction during the rehearsals when there's a little discussion or so, but we're so far away from early times where those things were getting serious, where anybody was having a grudge or something like that. You know,
I'm just quoting the words of the
release. You know, and it's really cool. It's really nice to have that and have no competition, no stress, no ego shit going on in the band. It's very cool. Everybody has his place, and we know it. And you know, it's like overstepping is rare.
Yeah, I'm just that word friction was used on the press release, so that's why I copied it and put it in my question, because it made an impression on me. Although it's used positively for the creative process, I was surprised to read the word friction in the press release.
It's the first time, and makes me think, friction. Yeah, maybe there is something, but it's really very much underlying. You know, it's not on the surface. It's just like friction in a term that I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. When you have strong personalities, you have a friendly competition. I mean, it's like being in a team. Yeah. Everybody tries to be better for the good of the team, which is
what we try.
A positive thing, a positive way of thinking, and I think that's the way it was written.
Of course, if it's like this, if you see the other guitar player playing a real cool, great solo, then you want it makes you work harder to to be like on the same level.
It's not saying yes, Sasha or Vicky, I beat you. I played better. It's the best.
That's not the best. It's beating somebody. It's just like having a common standard, you know, and not having one part that is weak or so, you know. And for that reason, we work hard.
Yeah, yeah. Um, After 4 decades, what is the biggest misconception that fans or journalists still have about Helloween?
The biggest,
They play
yeah, well, let me think a bit. I mean, there's so many.
misconceptions.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's the eternal critics that always have something to complain about. As far as like, what the hell are you doing on the fan board? Because and misconception. I don't know. I mean, I still think one thing would be that Andy is still somehow underrated, and it comes basically from the time when he was singing the Kiss Kiss songs, which didn't go down too well with people. And but still, he's such a great singer. He's so versatile, and he can basically sing everything. It's really cool, and especially on this album now, he's sounding so good. Never heard him sound any better. So that was one thing. Other misconception, yeah, that we are purely a power metal band. Then, well, that sometimes I feel overrated because I get so much of the credit for making Helloween, for creating the sound, for creating power metal, which is actually not true. I mean, it was Vicky and me, which in our union and with our friction, we created something special. I mean, Helloween would sound different without me, and it would sound different without Vicky for sure. And that's very important. And later on, now these days, sure, Andy is a big part about like how Helloween sounds, and Sasha is getting more and more into being involved in that. I mean, see the songs he wrote now for this album, Universe and Hand of God, are really, really cool, I think. And that's what I meant with that. We all know what Helloween is about these days, and that we don't even have to think about it. It just comes out of us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I heard Universe, I thought that you had written that song, and it was such a great surprise and a pleasant surprise because we need the younger generation to take the torch.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, look, Sasha learned from the best.
Yeah. And he's playing with the best.
No. He can do it anyways. So yeah. Hey, when I heard the song, I was like, yeah, that's the shit. When I heard the demo, I was like, that's it. That's what we want. Yeah. And it was funny to read in the comments that the people really suspected it's a song written by me, which is nope, it's not.
Yeah. It could as well be you. So Danny recorded on 3 different drum kits for this album. How much did it inspire or challenge the others, your guitar parts and stuff?
For our guitar parts, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, we had drums, and that was, I don't care which drum kit he uses, as long as sounding good and well recorded. It was a bit of a nerdy thing about because Charlie, our producer, which he recorded the drums with, he's a drum nerd too. He's actually a drummer too, so they're both total nerds about drums and sound and stuff like that. So they actually took the effort and said, "No, we need another drum kit for this song," and then they tried out. And I mean, in the production, I think it's not so obvious because. Even though the drums sound a little bit different on each song and very much fitting to each song, it's not so obvious that you have a total different drum sound on every song, which I think is very good. That would be weird.
Mm-hmm. But we like nerdy things in general. All metalheads like nerdy things. It's in our vein. Look into details so much. When we love something, we get too much into details. But what's a detail in the recording process that you think that most listeners won't notice, but to your eyes, it makes a big difference.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can only always compare it to the first, I call it the first Helloween album. I mean, the first album was very dense in terms of production. There were so many overdubs and so many keyboards, and everything was trying to be featured. This time we were much more careful in sorting out what goes on top, or what is like the accents that we put on in terms of keyboards and overdub guitars and stuff like that. So we keep it a little more down, not to overload the album, because that was one point that we kind of found after the first production, after the album was out, and so that the album is a bit overloaded. Everything is on 11, you know. Now everything is balanced, transparent, and that makes a difference, definitely.
Mm-hmm. A question I always like to ask is, if you could send a message back to your 20-year-old self when you started playing in Helloween, what would it be?
Yeah, go on. Go on with what you're doing. It's cool. It will be fine.
It will be fine.
Yeah, because now I know it is fine, and it turned out fine. Back then, I couldn't know, but yeah, I kept walking the way that looked most attractive to me, and I couldn't give any advice to my younger self, except for don't wear these clothes. Yeah, we really had some weird outfits back then in the 80s. So that's done better.
You know, nothing can be compared to the outfit that Queensryche had in Rage for Order.
Oh.
If you remember the back cover, nothing can be compared with that.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but what we have to say, this is Plomari. Yeah, this is Plomari. This is one of the best Uzo that you can have.
Yep.
You kept some things from Greece, I see.
Actually, yes.
So, looking back, do you think the biggest giants and monsters in your career were external industry struggles or internal personal ones?
Ooh. Wow, that's a question. I think both. Mm-hmm. I guess that, on the whole way, internally and externally, there was always giants and quite a few monsters. Mm-hmm. So, but we walked our way through, and you know, sometimes we were giants, sometimes we were monsters in the way what we were doing, and you know how we were handling things. So it makes sense